Thanks for checking out the video. Today we're going to be discussing the top 5 tips guaranteed to get you better scores on the War of Three Kingdoms event. Make sure you leave a comment below and let me know which tip helped you out the most, and also if there's any tips that I might have missed. Make sure you definitely share this video with a friend, either online or Discord, and maybe save this later so you can refresh your memory the next time the War of Three Kingdom event shows up. Tip number 1, plan your teams out ahead of time. So what you want to do is you want to figure out your best 60 heroes and then have 5 alternative heroes. As we've seen, it's now requiring 12 hits on the War of Three Kingdoms, so you're going to make sure you got to develop your roster accordingly. You also want to use the raids in-game to perfect your team. So this will give you a great opportunity to switch things around and try different heroes and figure out what synergies really work with the heroes that you have. It also is really important that while you're testing these heroes out, that you rotate through the raids and find different color tanks. So typically in the War of Three Kingdoms, we're seeing either purple or red heroes, and that will help give you a good feel as far as what type of teams you will be facing in the next event. And I will say that healers are absolutely extremely important, and you should definitely prioritize, make sure you've got plenty of them. Revivers are going to be substantially better as well, so make sure you level those up, even if it's the 3-star Gramps. This will give you some absolutely explosive results. Boom, you're chilling at home bored and all you have is a phone. What do? Boom, you're chilling on a boat in the middle of the ocean. What do? Boom, locked up in a missile silo with only 10 minutes left before launch. What do? Trick question. They all have the same answer. You play some Raid Shadow Legends. This video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends, and they are bringing you for a serious ride with their Doom Tower. Every game has difficult endgame content, and the Doom Tower is out of control with fun mixed with compelling, engaging content. The tower is essentially a giant prison. The Arbiter fought a bunch of nasty bad guys a long time ago. Turns out she's not strong enough to keep them locked for good, so now they're off leaking back in the world. So now the Doom Tower is failing, and it's up to us to knock some heads before they get out of control. I could go on forever talking about how to fight these bosses, but the real fun is trying things out and experimenting yourself. When you're not slashing dudes in the Doom Tower, one of my favorite things about the game is how friendly it is on the free-to-play community. The 3-star champions can be leveled up to 6 stars, and a ton of them are super strong. This is my starting character, Kale, who's a 3-star, and he is stronger than all my other champions. Make sure you pick him when you download this game. Now is the best time to download Raid Shadow Legends. If you click on the link in the description or scan my QR code here on the screen, you'll get unique bonuses worth $30. And we're talking about a free epic champion, Anya, 200,000 silver, 1 energy refill, 1 XP boost, and 1 ancient shard to get a summon awesome new champions as soon as you get in the game. All your treasure, it's going to be waiting for you right over here. Thanks again, Raid Shadow Legends. Tip number 2, develop uniform defensive strategies. Use your colors in words. So as we've seen, communication channels have definitely broken down in the War of Three Kingdoms event. So I have left a PDF where you can just copy and paste this and use it in your in-game chat to make sure that you have the right colors so people are all on the same page for their defensive. Because we have this issue with language, I highly recommend you also use the language translator from Google and translate it into multiple languages so everybody that's on your team knows exactly what's going on with the defense. So just make sure you check the link in the description. I've already done a lot of that work for you. Tip number 3, find weak points in their defenses. So if you're getting ready to attack, you want to make sure you are assessing everything that's going on with their defense and strategize on ways that you can attack them offensively. I highly recommend number 1, you build 4 teams that are color specific that are strong against their most common tank colors. So you're going to find that there's going to be teams that are probably going to have a pretty uniform color, whether it be purple, red. You're going to want to build 4 teams that are color strong against either the purple or the red tank, depending on what you're seeing most of. Then after that, you're going to want to build 6 teams color specific that are strong against the flanks. These are the heroes that are next to the tank, so you want to build 3 of each. So if you see like Frigg in a flank position, you're going to want to build teams that are heavy emphasis on red and green to prevent her from going off, and vice versa if they have blue as the flank. So you really want to build some teams that way. And then your other 2 teams, you're going to want to build your best teams that are the best against flanks. So if they have all uniform defense, you can then now build 2 teams that are perfect against the flanks. Now, what I would highly recommend above kind of all of this is to find teams with multiple colors that you can go strong against. So you don't have to just focus on just the tank color. You can also build some really strong teams that have multiple of the same color that you can be strong against. Tip number 4, if you're going for one shots, don't use all your hits at once. This is incredibly important. This event lasts so long. We're gonna see how the final edition comes out, but you can definitely stagger your hits. So I would highly recommend you identify the 10 weakest teams and then keep logging in to fight those specific teams. This event is supposed to feel like a big giant team, but really it's just you against everybody else to make sure you have the highest score. So you want to make sure that you are building your teams and you're fighting teams with the highest potential of getting all the points. And then what you can do by doing this is you can just wait until they revive, maybe set an alarm yourself so you know you've killed it. It gives 8 hours before this next team revives. So you can set an alarm and you can go back and you can kill that. I would also highly recommend that you don't just look at the heroes themselves when evaluating the 10 weakest teams. You're going to want to look at the troops as well to see if they have low level troops or they're using troops that aren't critical, stuff like that, because sometimes people just get caught up on the heroes where the troops are really, really important, and you can definitely build teams that are going to be strong against them. And my last and final tip number 5 is make sure you understand that cleanups are worth more than one shots in the long run. Now, let me explain. Typically, when we go into wars, our typical wars that we fight, we're trying to get the most amount of one shots because they give the most amount of points, usually getting like 51, 52 points out of these. And when we're seeing these cleanups that are being done, you can actually only miss 2 points by clearing out everything except for the tank. So this defense here is absolutely amazing to go and just get these cleanups. I actually did the math on these as well too. So if you do 12 super easy cleanups like this, they're worth the same as doing 10 one shots and 2 missed one shots. So we know how difficult it can be sometimes to get even just 6 one shots. Getting 10 one shots is quite a bit. You know, you got to be pretty perfect on that. And what's even better on this is if you get 12 that are missing the tank, just the tank, you're getting around 28 and 29 points apiece, and that would put you in 5th place out of 200, which is better than 11 one shots, guys. So don't look at cleanups as something miserable. I would definitely recommend you using this strategy to make sure you get the most amount of points. Myself, when I was actually making this video, I wanted to only use 3 and 4 stars, but they shut the event down for like 4 or 5 hours. So I wasn't able to go in and do the cleanups like I wanted to with that time that the event was down. So I really want to kind of show you guys how easy it was. And there were a couple of teams that I fought that where I just used just kind of trash heroes and we're still able to get amazing one shots. So for you, with a developed roster, decent roster, you should be able to get really good results on just focusing on these one shots. Put your ego aside. I know in wars, they're very much emphasized to get one shots, but now is the time, while they haven't fixed their scoring system, which I recommend they doing, for you to make sure you get as many one shots as possible. And they're super easy to find. It also gives you the highest potential of having a high score. So don't shy away from them. You're gonna wanna kind of focus on those rather than getting so consumed up in your ego. So guys, make sure you subscribe, you check out Raid Shadow Legends, and by doing this, you guys get more content that comes out for Empires and Puzzles, so it means a lot to me. Right now, you just go, you download Raid Shadow Legends, let me know what you think about it, and it's extremely important for you guys to try the sponsored content to keep on getting Empires and Puzzles content. Thanks so much, I appreciate all the support, and make sure you leave a comment below on which tip helped out the most.